The story of Krazy Joe was torn from yesterday's headlines, and it's as terrifying as tomorrow's.
Good morning. Welcome back to Krazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Krazy Joe. We are doing the Dog Days of Podcasting, a podcast every single day for the entire month of August, except not every single day for me because I didn't start until the 9th. So you missed 8 days worth of content from me. Sorry. It's just the way it is. But today is Thursday, the 21st of August. We are nearing the end, a little over a week to go. I'm a little bummed out because not everybody, not all the Dog Days participants, but a good number of Dog Days participants converge at the end of this event at Dragon Con in Atlanta. I will not be going this year, and I'm a little sad because, I'm not as much a con guy as I used to be. I used to go to every convention. I used to go to Philly Comic Cons and the Monster Mania cons in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and you name it. If there was a con, I went. I just couldn't get enough of them. But I find the older I get, the less I'm interested in a lot of these cons, mainly because what are they? They're an excuse to buy stuff. Really, they're an excuse to buy stuff. There are a lot of vendors selling t-shirts and action figures and, whatever you can buy that's got your fandom of choice printed all over it. And as I get older, I'm finding that I'm running out of room for stuff and I'm trying to get rid of stuff, not buy more stuff. And the other thing is like celebrity autographs. And it's like, the celebrities that I find that I want to meet at age 49 are getting fewer and fewer. Like, there are icons that I grew up with, and I've met so many of the icons that I grew up with. I've met William Shatner. I've met Mr. T. I've met Weird Al Yankovic. Who's left? Like for my generation, for those icons that I grew up with, who's left? Bill Murray, maybe? I'd like to meet Bill Murray. Harrison Ford. But a celebrity who starred as a superhero on a CW show, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like the CW superhero shows. I watched all those Arrowverse shows. But those celebrities just aren't quite as special to me. It's just not as special to me. Stars from Star Trek and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they still hold a place in my heart. I don't mind meeting those people, especially the ones I haven't met yet. But that's Star Trek, that's Buffy. They kind of hold a place in my heart. But most of these modern celebrities, they come out of the TV shows of today. It's not that exciting. I mean, I'm older than most of these people at this point. Like the news, the celebrities of today, I'm older than most of them. It doesn't have the same appeal. But what's special about Dragon Con is friends. It's like, yeah, the con is there, but the con's an excuse. We're there to see each other. And I got three different, completely different sets of friends who don't really intermingle and know each other, but they're all at the con. We've got our podcasting group, Craig and Clinton and Chuck and Amy Bowen. And I know he doesn't really contribute to the Dog Days, but he's listening. Gary Lindros. And, they're not here this year, but Ken and Charlotte. And, that group, Mad Marv, that group, the podcasting crew. That's one group. And I only see these guys at Dragon Con every year. So you don't go. That's a year I don't see some of my friends. But then on top of that, there's like the YouTube friends that I've made. Adam the Woo, who doesn't go every year. I don't think he's going this year. Splore and Ryan, Zach Coker from Coker Culture, Greg's Game Room, so many. And I see them there. And I don't see them any other time of year. And Anyone who knows me knows I really love puppetry. I'm a huge Henson fan, huge Muppet fan, and I've made friends on the puppetry track just from going to Dragon Con and going to the puppetry track. And that's a completely different group of people. And I'm not going to see them. So I'm really bummed out about missing Dragon Con. It has to happen. Like, it has to happen for financial reasons. I got an 18-year-old who's about to get her driver's license, which means our insurance is going up, and she's about to start college. We got to pay for college. And there's just all these expenses. And not going to Dragon Con is the responsible thing to do. But man, am I sad about it. I'm going to miss my friends this year. And when you take into account the fact that I fell and had an accident in June and spent most of the summer stuck in the house because I couldn't drive. And I was dependent on others to drive me places. And really, the only place we ever went was the movies. You know, where are you going to go with a big cast when you're going to go on vacation? You know, you don't go anywhere with a big giant cast on your arm. So I spent most of the summer not doing anything. And now my friends are about to go to Dragon Con, and I'm not going to see them. I'm going to tie this all together, by the way. I'm going to tie this all together because I was watching a movie the other day that I'd never seen before. It's a 2018 film called The Hate You Give, and it stars actress Amandla Stenberg. And I know Amandla Stenberg from The Acolyte, the Star Wars TV show The Acolyte from Disney Plus, where she played the two lead roles. She played twins, Osha, and I can't remember her twin sister's name. It's been about a year since the show aired. But she was the star, and it's about the movie's about like Black culture and the gun violence and the police and all these wonderful things we see on the news that are depressing and sad. But it's a really well done movie, really good, really powerful. But there's one scene in the movie where Amandla Stenberg's character goes to give an interview. They want to interview her on the news, and they decide to interview her at a hotel. And she walks into the front doors of the Atlanta Hilton. And I just sat there and went, oh my God, I can't escape it. I can't escape it. I'm sitting here trying to forget the fact that I'm not going to Dragon Con this year. And this movie I'm watching throws Dragon Con right in my face. There's the Atlanta Hilton. And I'm looking at the elevator of the Atlanta Hilton. And I'm like, Gary and I sat in those seats last year. And we're having a conversation on I think the Friday morning of Dragon Con or the Thursday morning last year. We sat right there. And it's just, you just sit there and you go, oh, I can't escape it. I can't escape it. But it got me thinking, because I'm watching this movie with Amandla Stenberg. It got me thinking about The Acolyte. And The Acolyte was a Star Wars TV show that aired on Disney Plus last year. And it was really good. Like, I mean, it was really good. And it was everything Star Wars fans have said that they wanted. And sadly, it was the victim of online toxicity from the start. And there's no two ways around it. I mean, you can't escape it. People will claim, oh, it just wasn't very good. Man, I'm sorry, that doesn't hold water. And the reason I say it doesn't hold water is because people were bagging on the show before it aired. They were bagging on the show before it aired. And when someone's bagging on something before it airs, you know that the complaints aren't coming from an issue of quality. Because how could you have a problem with the quality of something you haven't seen yet? And it started before the show aired. It was a victim of online hate because the creator of the show, Leslie Headland, is an openly lesbian woman. It was homophobia, pure and simple. People were saying that the show was gay propaganda, and it was Disney and Star Wars sticking a gay agenda in people's face, all because the creator was gay. Now, if you saw the show, sexuality and homosexuality or none of that is in the show. There is this coven of all women force witches who one could assume, because it's a group of all women and there's no men in the group, you could assume that these guys are probably lesbians. But they never explicitly say that in the show. They never say it in the show. And there are romantic relationships in the show. The main character, and the Sith character have a thing, and that's a straight relationship. So all these cries of they're pushing gay, it wasn't even true, because that isn't in the show. Like, if you watch the show, it's not there. And not that it should be a problem if it was. If it was, who cares? Who cares? Well, these hate mongers care, and they decided, regardless of whether it was in the show or not, they were going to go after this show and attack this show because of who the creator was. That's it. That's it. And this was a talented creator who we know is talented because she created a very well-received Netflix series called Russian Doll. And without seeing one moment of The Acolyte, it was already being dragged online. People were saying, oh, Disney should just bury this. They shouldn't even air it. People who hadn't seen it. So we finally see it, and it had the greatest lightsaber battle in the history of Star Wars. In like episode 5 of The Acolyte has like the greatest lightsaber battle. Forget Duel of the Fates. You want to see the greatest lightsaber battle ever, watch episode 5 of The Acolyte. It finally gave fans something they've been asking for, in that fans kept saying, can we get away from the Skywalkers and people we know and tell stories about all new characters? This show did that. It took us to an era of Star Wars we've never seen before, about 100 years before The Phantom Menace. None of the characters we know are in this except Ki-Adi-Mundi, a basically no-name Jedi who had a couple of lines in The Phantom Menace. He makes a brief appearance, and he's not even in it much. This is mostly just new characters from a new generation, something fans have asked for. You got it. You got it. A Star Wars character we'd never seen on screen before that fans have wanted to see. Darth Plagueis makes an appearance on this show. Again, something the fans have asked for. Here it is. You've got all these things that Star Wars fans claimed they wanted. New characters, not existing characters. New time periods. Darth Plagueis. All these things. And this show provided them. And it told a pretty compelling story. And it was met with hate from the start. Before it aired. I remember one of my YouTube viewers contacted me, and he told me that The Acolyte was garbage because it was Disney grooming children. This is what he said. It was Disney grooming children by pushing homosexuality on them. That was his initial statement to me. And I responded, I called a spade a spade. I said, that's homophobia. That's homophobia. And this guy threw a fit. Absolutely threw a fit. He started going to YouTube and making videos about me. And his video, the content of his videos was, Krazy Joe will call you a homophobe just because you didn't like a TV show. To which I showed him his screenshot, and I said, your opening screenshot to me was The Acolyte is garbage because Disney is grooming children by pushing a homosexual agenda. That was your opening statement. I didn't call you a homophobe because you didn't like a TV show. I called you a homophobe because of the homophobic thing you said. Like, let's not get confused here. I don't care. You like a TV show, you don't like a TV show, that's fine. The quality is subjective. But your opening statement had homophobia in it. And that's what I called you out on. Not you're liking the show or disliking the show. But this is what we're dealing with. This is the culture we live in now. And I blame, well, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of blame to go around. But I think a good portion of the blame goes to the leader of the free world, because when you have a person like that leading the country, it gives people license to be more open with their hatred. They're not hiding in the shadows anymore. That's just what I think, and I'm sure people will disagree with me, and I don't care, because unless you can make a compelling argument, and so far nobody has, you're not going to change my mind on that. Because I don't remember this kind of stuff before 2016. Well, I'm rambling now, but The Acolyte is a tremendous show, and it's the kind of show Star Wars fans have been asking for. It's one of the best Star Wars projects we've had in the Disney era. And if you haven't seen it, please be sure to check it out. And if you haven't seen it because you heard online it wasn't very good, please don't listen to those voices, because most of them are disingenuous. Oh, every now and then you'll get someone who just legitimately didn't like it because they didn't think it was well written, or they didn't like the characters, or whatever reason. There are people like that out there, and I don't want to discount their claims, but the largest voices, the loudest voices, are hating it for the wrong reasons. And we have to turn a deaf ear to them, because their opinions cannot matter. All right, everyone. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas
with the plastic feet.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
Tell everyone you meet.
Keep wearing those pajamas
with the back door flap.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
Don't open, it's a trap.
Oh no,
it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
I know we're having fun.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
And now the song is done.